NBA sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Seattle Seahawks and our home team. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And the quality of opponent goes up a notch here in this divisional round. But he's coming off such a sensational performance, I'm not sure he cares. 4 touchdown passes in the last game, and you'd have to imagine his head coach would sign up for that right now.
In trouble, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. From the gun, Fox. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And he more than did his part in the wild card win with 3 touchdown passes. Now, he's going to get a bigger test here in round 2. But his unit is in rhythm, and they're playing as well as they have all year long. I wouldn't be surprised if this defense, though, tried to get after him early with a little extra pressure. If he can handle that, he can have another big game, though.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Edmonds. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 15, and he's going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, a shaky start for both quarterbacks now. We had the interception on the opening drive, and now they throw it right back to him.
So does that mean we're really kind of starting from the beginning, Brandon, right? Both of them have done it, so we kind of start from scratch. Looks to me like both of these defenses have done their homework, and they're executing quite well.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has a big thank you to say to his defense. He threw the interception, then boom, the defense gets it back.
But the ebb and flow of a game is something else, isn't it? But you made an excellent point. A big thanks is owed to that defense. They went out there on what we call sudden change after a turnover and didn't give up anything. In fact, took the ball away and set them up again. Really nicely done.
So a clean slate and a mulligan.
The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Fox. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 33. From the gun on third down, Edmonds. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Edmonds. Wide open receiver complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16.
I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from his strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
Now they try the right side here. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Hands it off out of the gun. And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up third.
Off the play fake. Edmonds. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Aviators are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce-back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's good to make it 7-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. We'll get another look at Seattle's offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fox. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On third down, Fox. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
London about set to take over on offense.
And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Oh, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel, okay? So when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Call it no gain there, and they've got a ways to go now on third down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Well, that was a third and long run, and to me, that was just a wave the white flag kind of a situation. Obviously, they don't want to risk the chance of throwing it downfield and risking a turnover in this section of the field.
And they'll send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Well, the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense.
They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. On first down, Fox. And he gets it to Bolden. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Throwing on first down, Fox. And Bolden brings it in, complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Now this one complete on the slant route.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
That's going to be caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. London about set to take over on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Amaro's got it, left side. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun, Edmonds. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Ooh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. This is fielded at the 27. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
7 yards, the pickup there.
To throw on 2nd down, Fox. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Fox. Can't get away, and he's taken down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see it where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Fox. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
London about set to take over on offense.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Edmonds. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on it before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Going to throw right side here, complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They bring their punter out there now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 22. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
On 1st and 10, Fox. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To throw on 3rd down, Fox. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the 1st. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Edmonds. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Edmonds. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. And what a big-time play there.
I don't think anyone would argue that having that extra week definitely helps come playoff time. And those were some fresh legs right there. That extra practice time and planning, certainly in evidence.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Edmonds. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. So give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30. So now you don't march up the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Edmonds. Toward the pylon. Caught. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there, taking it in.
And the Aviators are able to move back in front. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Point after try forthcoming. And the lead is up to 5. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown.
On first down, Fox. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Looking to throw on second down. Fox. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 54 yards. And the Seahawks have once again taken the lead.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, Here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 2. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground, and they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Fox. He finds his man. Complete. That's Manning. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing on 1st down. Fox. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him. Complete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the 2nd of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Seahawks. And they had success all season throwing the football. No reason for that to change in the playoffs, as they've continued to move the ball well through the air. Meanwhile, for our home team, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback. And this offense set to go now to begin the 3rd quarter. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now, because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Edmonds. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
A try here for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. London about set to take over on offense. And to give this time to the tailback. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A handoff as they run the counter play. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Back to throw. Edmonds. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. On 1st and 10, Edmonds. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Yeah, we will get another look at Seattle's offense. On 1st down, Rosenthal. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Fox. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On 1st down, Fox. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
What's the deal, y'all?
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. To throw on second down, Fox. And that's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Let's go. A gain of 13.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. Fox. And this one too low.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Fox. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
London about set to take over on offense.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And they'll send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, Fox. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
To throw on 3rd down, Fox. And he comes back with one complete.
And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing on first down, Fox. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
This is caught. Touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Kevin Stefanski going to leave the offense out to go for 2.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Despite some tough running, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
So they bring out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup.
Off play action. Fox. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
London about set to take over on offense.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And to give this time to the tailback. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
For a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Come on, let's go.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, you know, back and forth like that? But definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
57 yards on the ground for him so far.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st and 10, Edmonds. And that is incomplete here. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down. Edmonds complete here. It's Hyde. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
They didn't need much. They didn't get much. But what they did get was enough for a 1st down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Edmonds. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. On 1st down, Edmonds. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Edmonds. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 14.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there on 3rd down. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun. Edmonds. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Edmonds. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will close the gap down to 14.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah, we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And now 1st downs are key. They want to keep that clock moving, up by 2 scores. as they try to cement their place in the conference championship round in 1 week's time.
Throwing on first down. Fox. Under pressure, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. From the gun, Fox. He finds his man, complete. It's Manning. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The Seahawks on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Fox. He finds his man, complete. It's Manning. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. .47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return.
London about set to take over on offense. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the 4th quarter, the divisional round. And they need to come up with something as they get this drive started.
On 1st and 10, Edmonds. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
82 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Edmonds. Wide open receiver, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Back to throw. Edmonds. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Looking to throw. Edmonds. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Sometimes...
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. there to make the grab. And the Aviators have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that big-time drive right there? If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down right around the 37th.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on first down. Rosenthal. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And to give this time to the tailback. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
So now Las Vegas down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. They'll have to go 90-plus yards, and a field goal does them no good as they've got it with a first down. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field, but guess what? This one's now just about over.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is taken at the 23.
That's it, baby.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock. So 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off. And they take a knee. On second down now, Rosenthal. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. And, Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make the effort to get to this game and then point them towards the future. If we're good enough to get here, all we've got to do is work harder, be better, and we can be good enough to go farther next season. How many times have we seen a team lose in the playoffs, and that girds them for a championship run in the future?